Hey folks, Chris Jansen, Harcourt Sergeant. Welcome to another vlog, bricks and mortar style. Well, it's Tuesday the 31st of March, the last day of the month, April Fool's Day tomorrow. And if only we could all wake up and put this virus behind us thinking it was an April Fool's joke. But in all seriousness, I'm putting out these little vlogs and tips weekly because the climate that we operate in is literally changing daily, whether it be finance, listing, selling, viewings, open inspections, contracts, you name it. But today's little tip is about a little finance parameter that has changed, and I'm really strategically asking some, interesting questions of the lender. But I'll give you a bit of a background. This buyer secured a home through us contractually just over a week ago, fully pre-approved financially within their 90-day pre-approval parameter. Got the call yesterday, Chris, I've lost my job, unemployed. Not the news any one of us want to hear in light of everything that's going on. But I just asked this buyer, I said, look, want to work with you, and he was really emotional. Like, he was quite upset. He wants to go forward. He wants the home. He needs somewhere for his family to reside. He's been saving, for years prior to this virus even hitting the economy and doing what it's doing. And this has been a lifelong ambition for this particular family. But anyway, I just asked him this question. I said, look, have you been given a separation letter from your employer? And he said, no. And I said, well, look, legally your employer has to provide you that because first and foremost, like, we've got to look out for each other in these times, and you need some income, you need some support to put food on the table and to provide comfort and shelter for your family. So if you don't get that letter, you can't go into Centrelink and get some government support for the interim. Because this guy, just so you know, is super skilled, super experienced in a trade. It's just because of the downturn in his work, his boss just can't keep him on at this point in time. Now, this particular guy is not going to be on this system forever. Like, he's highly employable. He will be back in a job in the not so distant future when all of this is behind us. But I said, mate, get that checklist, because separation letter, because if you can get it, at least you can get some interim assistance until you're back on your feet with employment. If you need me to help you with that because your employer's not aware, let me know, I'll step you through that. The second thing we're looking at is by him getting the separation letter and potentially some government support and assistance, I've now gone back to his lender and said, well, look, there's no guarantee that any of us could be paid income in light of employment right now into the future. But if this buyer was, to get onto government support and assistance fortnightly, what does that look like for him from a serviceability point of view? So initially, the lender was, declined, lost your job, no income. But now I've asked him some hard-hitting truth questions because this particular buyer wants the home, wasn't aware of the separation letter, wasn't aware of government support and assistance. And if he can get that plus transition into this family home that he and his family have been aspiring to do for so many years now, he would love to make it work. So I've gone back to the lender and I've said, let's look at a couple of different serviceability parameters in the sense of, obviously the Centrelink changes haven't come into play now. So if he was to get onto as is, what does that look like in that model? Would he service the loan? Or if he was to get onto the new proposed Centrelink benefits and support assistance coming into play April, May, does he service the loan still then? The easy thing for us to do, as well as the buyer, was to put our head in the sand as much as the lender and go, too hard, decline, too bad, so sad. But firstly, this particular buyer needs some support and assistance and isn't aware of, his obligations or his employer's obligations to help him with that. Secondly, he still has the property aspirations. So if we can get this to service, who knows? We're not going to be biased here as, anyone who's bought home being on Centrelink benefits and government support and assistance. Well, he might be entitled and still service and be able to aspire to purchase this property. The only, obviously, variation for us will be is that the finance approval date may need to be extended as well as a settlement. But right now, it's best to have a buyer and a seller come together harmoniously in a contractual commitment together and moving forward together because, sellers are feeling it. There's not many buyers out there at the moment. Of the buyers that are inquiring, they're a great quality of buyer, but we've definitely noticed a reduction. But on the flip side, there's been about a 70% reduction of properties coming to market for sale so far in Australia because of all this virus. So the buyers that are looking are going, there's nothing for us to choose from, and what's out there, we've seen it, and we've either not bought it or we've secured it, and we're working towards a settlement. And that's exactly the case here with this buyer. He's been looking for ages. He's seen what's out there. He's seeing no new stock coming to market to replenish his needs to buy. So this is the home. He wants it. He desires it. He wants to settle on it and he wants to move forward on it. So let's look outside the traditional finance parameters. Yes, he's lost his job, not ideal, but he does have rights and entitlements to government support and assistance. And let's see if we can get this to service and meet. It's a 50-50 chance, folks, but in light of what's going on in the world, we're rolling everything at it. That's possibly achievable. So hopefully this gives you a little help, whether you're an agent, whether you're a seller, whether you're a buyer. If you lose your job, talk to your agent, talk to your bank, and look at all possible options, because there are options out there for us, folks. And what the federal government's doing in terms of support at the moment, stimulus packages, is unheard of. Unprecedented. We've never seen this much support be rolled out into the Australian economy. Whatever you do, folks, have a wonderful day. I'm outside, as you can see. It's gorgeous out here, just taking in the fresh air, the bird life. Thought I'd plug in from outside for a little bit today. But be kind to each other, show compassion, and empathy is your best friend in these times of needs, and just support each other in the true Australian way that we do go about being proud Australians. Until the next video, which I'll probably do one in the next 24, 48 hours, I'm going to talk to you about landlords, tenants off the back of the Prime Minister's announcement on Sunday around rents, commercial rents versus residential rents, because I've been having some great conversations with you as tenants and landlords, and it's great to see people are still genuinely doing the right thing in upholding their commitments, in paying rents to keep this economy going as best as we can. We've got to keep movement going forward, guys. The worst thing we can do is stop, because if we stop, it'll be detrimental to us all as to how long this will be prolonged. Have a great day, folks. Thanks for tuning in.